I need something to eat. I can't do this. Well, I'm too awkward. Whoopee. I don't want to make this a long video. I feel like it's at least my time to share with everyone. Whoever watches me. Maybe this could have other people have the courage to just share the experience. It's not to bash anyone. It's not to wish ill towards anyone. It's just legitimately for how people understand and know we can't tolerate racism anymore. In honor of Black History Month and Valentine's Day, the title of this video is correct. I experienced racism while I was doing this Off Broadway show. It was off Broadway, but it was on Broadway, if that makes sense. Like, it was literally on Broadway, like the street Broadway, but it was off Broadway. Okay, I don't know where to start. Whoever doesn't know me, my name is Michaelle. I'm Black, and I'm a Christian. I believe in the power of forgiveness. Jesus forgives, so I should forgive. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it's fast. It's a process sometimes, depending on how hurt you are. And you should be patient with yourself. As long as you're progressing, to not hold any feelings for that person, because it's not good for you. You can get sick and bitter. I want to tell you my experience on a show that I got hired for in New York. And I'm not gonna say the name of the show, but it was a rude awakening to the industry. As a young Black woman, as a Black person. If you have any of these experiences, in due time, tell your story. I'm not saying rush. In due time, so people can know we're not perfect. We're not in a perfect world, but we can work towards having unification, to some degree. I was in this show in New York in 2019 until 2020. January 2020. The coronavirus didn't stop it. So when you're on Broadway, you have 3 categories. The main cast, the understudy, and the swing. And the understudy is that fills in for the main character if they're sick. The swing learns several different roles, but if the understudy is sick, they take over. So I was hired as the first cast for this character. It was an ensemble of us. It was really fun. The beginning process was magical. Very magical. And as the months went by doing previews of this show, previews of Broadway is when you're giving a glimpse of what this show is to like a targeted audience, and then if they like it, a broad audience comes see the show, which is like opening night. I remember doing previews, they hired this white girl. No shade to her, love that girl. They hired this white girl. I thought that she was gonna be the swing. And because the understudy was a Black girl just like me. But she was rarely used. She rarely came in. Like, she came in like once. So I'm like, oh, okay, the swing is coming in. Little did I know that they were planning on using this white girl to be the face of this character, which you, in my contract, hired me to do. When opening night came, basically, around April, they started using her more than me. She was basically the face of the character. They rarely used me at some point. They only used me towards the weekend. As time went on, when I was doing this show, I had to go to Scotland to my best friend's brother's wedding. And so when I came back, it was like I was non-existent. My contract said one thing, but I was being treated another way. And you start to think to yourself, I'm ugly. Because I would go to them and ask them, am I doing something wrong? Either I would get ignored or they would give me a general answer, like I wasn't in their face, you know? And that hurts because it's like, I'm asking. I'm not assuming, I'm asking. You don't even want to communicate with me. You feel like a dog at that point. And then, to make matters worse, you're thrown aside and this, no offense to her, but this white actress comes in and she's the main character now. She's the understudy, rarely used her. She rarely used her. Rarely. At one point, they took me aside and told me that me and the other actress, the white actress, were sharing this role. And so we were both getting paid the same amount. But everyone knew who this character looks like because of her. When I came in, it was like I was the understudy. I remember there was this one time a family came, like when in the audience a kid screamed out, well, not screamed, but said really loudly, "Where's the other girl?" I'm not gonna say the name of the character, but they said, "Where's the other?" Referencing we want the other one. And that just kind of broke me. Because it's like, you start to question your worth. At some point, there were some racial innuendos. Like, there was one time they posted something, and because I was inside of a mirror, they wrote, "Come something 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 Black Mirror. Come see this, my character's name, Black Mirror." Is that a joke? Because I'm black and I'm in a mirror. Whenever a celebrity would come, so like our show was shown by Today Show, Times New York, Neil Patrick Harris came. A lot of big celebrities came to see this show. And I was purposefully never put on schedule to perform for those people. It was always her. If I was ever to perform for some kind of celebrity or some kind of press, it was accidental. It wasn't planned. It was like they wanted to see what it was, and then I happened to be there. I chose not to believe that the creator of the show was doing this because they seemed like they loved me. They liked my work. They verbalized. Every time I asked if there was something wrong I was doing, never told me. If I asked the director, I was ignored or never told I was doing something wrong. And if I was told I was doing something, it was never clear. It was never clear. It was very broad and general. And it was like, okay, how do I fix this? Because this is broad. This is general. As time went on, there were opportunities they would ask me to do. There was this one time they asked me to sing this song that was in the show. And they pulled me aside. They said, "Hey, sing it like Whitney Houston, Patti LaBelle." Mind you, this song is a very bubbly, kitty kind of song. So there's not really a possible way to do it. But I said, I'll do it. This is my job. And then I went home to work on it, hours. And then I get a call that they don't want me anymore. And when I mean like I get a call, some people would be very discreet and say, "Hey, they're gonna go with someone else, thank you for your time." But no, they said they don't want me anymore. And I asked, "What do you mean you don't want me anymore?" They said, "I don't know, they just don't want you anymore." And I'm like, I literally said, I went home to work on this. And like, what did I do? Nothing. You didn't do anything. They just don't want you. Okay. I find out they give it to another white friend of mine in the cast who plays a completely different character. And they gave it to her. No shade against her. We're very close friends. This has nothing. She didn't do anything. This was out of her control. They just chose her. There are 3 black people in the main cast. It was me and 2 other guy friends I had. I couldn't hide. Many days I would hide my tears. I've never felt so disrespected and so low in my life. You don't really expect people who aren't of color to understand. Someone doesn't like you just because a certain shade of your skin. Someone will treat you like you're dust. As kind as you can be, as loving as you can be, they just, in a professional way, let you know, stay in your place. You're black. You need this job, so stay in your place. The show eventually went down. A lot of celebrities came to see the show and investors. At one point, DreamWorks came to see the show, and I always tell people, you will reap what you sow. You want to be corrupt. You think white is a better looking face, even though you hired a black person to represent. It's not that pretty, clearly. You want money? Okay. Your show's gonna go down. Eventually, the show ended in January, and they were supposed to come back February, but then they got bankrupt. Whatever you did to treat that person, you're gonna pay for it. Whether this life or the next, you're gonna pay for it. You're gonna pay for it. I mean, it makes me sad because that show had so much potential. It had like movie deals and a gaming deal and an animation deal. It had so much going for it, and it had to end like that. I want people to understand and know racism is like a virus, you know? And without the love of God, the characteristics of who God is, who Jesus is, you're never going to be cured of it. I don't hate them. I don't have any ill will towards them. It's been 2 years. I was 22 at the time. It's been 2 years. I didn't say anything. But I said, you know what? In honor of Black History Month, people need to understand that this industry can be really shady. And those shady people need to go. They need to be taught a lesson that this is not okay. I was in for a rude awakening when I started that show, and I was ready to get out. And I was happy it was over. And to this day, I'm very, very happy it's over. And I hope the creators learned and have more compassion, empathy, sympathy, apathy for people of color, considering to some sense they're people of color. It's funny. They're not white, no. But they're not black. Talking to the director and producers to have more empathy, apathy. Don't stay silent. Don't abuse your power. Stand up for what's right. Yeah. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to make this video. There's so much more that happened when I was at that show, but if you want a part 2, click the like button and I'll give you more details. But I was just giving you the basis of how low I felt in life. And I literally couldn't do anything about it because I needed a job and I had bills to pay and I'm young. But you will reap what you sow. So thanks for watching my video, guys. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Like, again, if you want a part 2 of this video, like this video, like and subscribe if you want to. I'll see you next time in the next video. Have a good day.